So as I said, today's session is going to be talking about goal setting. Now, goal setting is an interesting one, isn't it? Especially for network marketers. If you're in a network marketing business, have you ever set a goal before? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But more than likely, if you have, if you're like most people, you've probably missed it. You've probably been nowhere near hitting it and nowhere near achieving it. And often the reason for that is because we set goals that are far, 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 far too big for our experience level. So if you're new at this, or if you've never made sales before, to go from 0 to even 10 sales is a big stretch. To go from 10 to, let's say, 100 is a big stretch. To go from 0 in income to $10,000 a month, which is obviously where most people's visions are. Most people want to hit that magical 10K. So it's like, well, yeah, within the next 90 days, I'm going to make $10,000. You're not. You really are not. And I think that's the key is, with all due respect, you've been set up in the wrong way and people have overhyped things. You're potentially, possibly comparing yourself to many other people that are already having massive success. But the reason they're having success is because it's taken them time, it's taken them years, it's taken them many years to craft their skill and hone their skill and get better and better and better and better. So what you're comparing yourself to as a beginner possibly is somebody that's been doing this for 10 years. So to go from 0 to 10K a month, it's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take a strategy. And that's what we're focused on. So we're talking more, certainly in today's training, in let's break your goals down into 3 specific areas. Let's focus on building your audience. Let's focus on generating leads, and let's focus on making sales, because you can't make sales if you haven't got leads, and you can't get leads if you haven't got an audience. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to focus on 3 core areas. We're going to focus on audience building, we are going to focus on leads, and we are going to focus on sales. Because as I mentioned previously, you can't make sales if you haven't got leads, and you can't get leads if you haven't got an audience. Now, when I'm talking about building an audience, I'm talking about Facebook, let's say, for example, friends, fans, and followers. And it might be on a different platform, but essentially we're building our audience, our warm market. But the key here is people have to be targeted. They have to be your perfect people. They have to be people that are potentially going to buy your product or service or join your opportunity later. They can't just be random people. That's one of the biggest mistakes that many marketers make. So we're going to focus in on these areas. Now, I've talked a little bit about good, better, and best before. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on our best goal, which is a big stretch. So it's something you really need to work hard at achieving. And the idea here is, even if you miss your best goal, you'll still land amongst the stars. There's a saying, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. So you go for your best goal, but if you miss, you're going to do pretty well anyway. So we're going to say we are going to focus on creating a best goal for you. Now, from a numbers perspective, what I recommend that you set, and this is for 12 weeks, this is a 12-week goal, which is essentially 90 days. And we're going to go with, to build an audience of 500 new people. So that's, if it's on Facebook, it would be 500 friends, 500 fans, or 500 followers, or a combination of. So we're going to go with 500. And when I break this down for you shortly, you're going to see how easy it actually is. When you've got a weekly plan and a daily method of operation, all of a sudden it becomes very, very simple. So we're going to go with 500 new people on Facebook. And again, these have to be targeted people. And if you're not sure where to find your people from, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to us here at Networking Superstars, and we can point you in the right direction so you know where you can find your perfect people from. So now what we're going to say is, okay, we're building an audience of 500 people. How many leads can we expect to generate from that? So I'm going to give you a goal of 300 leads. Now, in network marketing and online marketing, you can generate leads in multiple different ways, but I'm going to suggest that you have a free Facebook group, and anybody that joins your Facebook group is interested in the topic that you are sharing information about in that group. So that is a lead. Somebody who joins your group is a member. I call them leads because you can then follow up with those people later. Now, there's also another way, and that is if you're a little bit more advanced, you're good at technology and the high tech side of things, then you can capture your leads in an autoresponder by using a lead magnet. And we'll talk more about that another time. But for now, I'm going to say 300 people inside of a Facebook group. You could easily achieve that in the next 90 days or 12 weeks. And then sales wise, let's convert those leads, because the leads are much more highly qualified than just people that are following you or friended you. So we are going to say let's go with 10 sales. Now, when you use my CAS method, which is my messenger sales sequence: connect, ask, solve, sell, there's a very specific process that we take people through in Messenger. So we warm our leads up, and that shows you how to make sales of your product, your service, or your opportunity. So you might be looking for more customers, you might be looking for more team members, you might be looking for more clients, depending on what industry or niche you're in specifically. So these are your best goals for audience building, lead generation, and sales. So let's just make it a little bit simpler, and let's take a step back and go, okay, if this is my best goal, this is my big stretch, what's a kind of a lower goal than that? So we're going to go good, better, best. So now we're going to say, okay, let's go with 400 people that we're going to build our audience by. Let's go with 200 leads, and let's go with just 8 sales. And again, I'm going to show you how to break this down so you've got a daily focus and a daily process that you can work on every day to help you hit these targets and hit these goals. And then let's give yourself a good goal. So if you don't get your best, if you don't get the better, maybe you'll hit the good goal. So now we're going to say 300. If you hit 300, if you manage to build your audience by 300 people in 12 weeks, that is an incredible achievement, and you should be very, very proud of yourself. Now, leads, we can go with 100 leads. Again, easily achievable. With some focus, you can do this without a problem and without a challenge. And the great thing is you can repeat this over and over and over again every 12 weeks to hit these goals. And as you get better, you can teach it to your team, and get more duplication. And let's go with sales being 6 sales here. So just 6 sales. What's that? One every 2 weeks. That might be a new customer or a new team member, or again, a new client, depending on which area you're focused on. So now we've got our 3 goals: our audience building goal, our lead generation goal, and our sales goal. And we know that if we're going to aim for the best, even if we miss, we're going to do pretty well. So if we get in the good realm, we're going to be pretty happy. If you miss this, if you get lower than this, if you don't achieve it, it's okay. You just learn again and start again next month, or next quarter. Well, ideally next month or even next week. You don't want to leave it a quarter or leave it till New Year, so you start in a new goal every year. You want to be getting back on the wagon as quickly as you can, and you can catch up very, very easily and very quickly. So I have another sheet here. If you've got a calculator, this is helpful. I haven't got the calculator on screen, so I've written the numbers down here. But what we want to do now is you want to reverse engineer your goals. And you can do this with each of the goals, with the audience building, with the leads, and with the sales, so you know what you need to do every single day and every single week to hit your goals. So I'm just going to show you audience building right now, because that's actually the most important. You want to be focused on building your audience, getting new friends, getting new followers, and growing your warm market. Because without a warm market of targeted prospects or perfect people, you're going to find that you can't really hit the other goals either. So again, there's a very specific process, and you can use either attraction marketing for this, but I prefer that you would use active prospecting. And I've talked about that on the networkingsuperstars.com blog, that you use active prospecting in order to go out there and build your audience every single day. So let's go with your best goal right here. So we said that you want to build an audience by 500. Okay, and we're going to do this over 12 weeks. So we're going to divide this by 12. So it's 500 divided by 12. That's going to give you 41.6 people. So I'm just going to round that up and say 42 people. So now you've got to build your audience by 42 people every single week for the next 12 weeks in order to hit your goal of 500 people in your audience. So if we break that down now and divide 42 divided by 7, you are going to get roughly 6 per day, or you're going to get 6 per day. Again, I'm just going to round these numbers. So if you get some slightly weird or longer numbers in the calculator, just round them. I normally round them up because again, you want to go for the highest amount possible. So 6 people a day, that's it. How achievable is that? Day in, day out, day in, day out. Focus on build my audience, build my audience, build my audience, connect with new people, have conversations, find people that are interested in what you do. You don't want to sell to people to begin with. There's a very specific process with this. It's a very strategic process, but all you're doing is you're building your audience by 6 people a day. Okay, so let's go with the better goal, and let's just say that 400 people, we divide that by 12. What do we get? Well, we get 34, and then we divide 34, which is our weekly target, by 7, and that gives you 5 people per day that you want to build your audience by. So if you were to send 10 friend requests, for example, or engage with 10 people on a daily basis, you're going to hit these numbers very quickly. But the key is they have to be targeted prospects. They cannot just be random people. Okay. And now let's go with the good goal. So this one here. So that's the 300 divided by 12, which gives you 25 people per week that you want to grow your audience by. And as you get better at this, you're going to start to use attraction marketing strategies that we're going to be teaching here at Networking Superstars that allows you to put content out on social media, on the internet, and people come find you. People send you friend requests, people follow you, which means that actually this is going to be very easy because it's going to happen passively whilst you do other things. But again, that comes later. It's not something that happens straight away. So we're going to divide 25 divided by 7 is going to give you 4 people per day that you've got to build your audience by.